Rodgers and the Jets hosting C.J. Stroud and the Texans. We're going to go to the second quarter. The game is tied at 0. And the Jets run a reverse with Malachi Corley. He runs to the end zone. But RC, what happens next is inexcusable.
Well, what had happened was he forgot he needed to cross the goal line for it to be a touchdown. It's the man's second touch. He was just fired up, but I would be so fired up, I'd be keeping that football.
Third quarter, Jets trail 7-0. Rodgers finds Garrett Wilson there. What a catch, and it would only get better from there for Garrett Wilson. The game is tied at 7. Now, the Jets trailing 10-7 early in the fourth quarter. Rodgers going back to Wilson again, and what you're about to see is the best catch I think I've ever seen in my life. RC, absolutely incredible.
Well, here's the thing. The first catch was stupid. This one is just absolutely ridiculous for you to be able to reach back, push off of Kamari Lassiter, and get the shin in bounds. Excellent body control, great focus, great hands, big play. And then here C.J. Stroud is pushing the football outside of the pocket to Tank Dell.
Tank Dell had 6 catches for 126 yards on the night. Few plays later, Stroud sacked. A huge loss there. Michael Clemens taking care of business. So the Texans lose 15 yards on the play. And then the next Jets drive after a Texans missed field goal. Rodgers to Devontae Adams. He cruises in for the touchdown. The Jets lead 21-10. This is the offense people have been wondering about. 47 seconds left. Stroud sacked by Hassan Reddick and Quinnen Williams. Here's Aaron Rodgers after the Jets win 21-13.
Kind of season on the line there in the second half. Obviously, we wouldn't have been mathematically eliminated, but mentally, doing 7 would have been real tough. Hopefully, it's give us confidence so that we can beat anybody because we feel like we could.
Of course, it's embarrassing, and to come out here on a primetime game and get embarrassed like that is never fun. And I believe we have to be better in a lot of areas. And that starts with me.
All right, we'll get to the Jets side of this, okay? But, Mina, the Texans now sit at 6-3. After you saw what happened last night, are there areas of concern that worry you down the stretch here?
Yeah. This offensive line is what I would describe as non-functional at the moment. C.J. Stroud has the second highest quick pressure rate in all of football. The interior of the offensive line alone is responsible for over 18 sacks this season, which is more than any other in the NFL. And what concerns me moving forward, Laura, is this. One, that is a position that is very hard to address at the trade deadline. Good teams do not give away offensive line depth. So, a stud guard is not walking through that door, which makes this very challenging to fix. And the other is you see it affecting C.J. Stroud's performance. He had some uncharacteristic misses in this one, and that's on him for sure. But I can't help but feel, and we were talking about this during the game, like he's almost more comfortable outside of the pocket, inside of it, because he doesn't trust his protection. Getting Nico Collins back will certainly help, but boy, I don't see this offensive line getting any better anytime soon, and that's a serious problem for this Texans offense.
Yeah, I probably should have read the rundown that Mina was going to say exactly what I was going to say, but I probably knew that without reading it. But I will say this. Mina gave you the Ivy League description of what this offensive line is. I'm going to give you that LSU Baton Rouge description. Hey. They trash. When you look at the way C.J. Stroud has been running for his life since the beginning of the season, we would speak all the time about how C.J. Stroud, his talent, his excellence, his execution, his anticipation was able to kind of get them out of some of these situations that the offensive line put them in. Now everything has reversed. We're seeing it affect C.J. Stroud's play, whether it be turnovers or inaccurate throws, maybe just rushing himself a little bit too much when he actually does have time. You've taken an elite player and now brought him back to the pack. And if C.J. Stroud isn't playing exceedingly well, this team can't win. This is a huge problem for DeMeco Ryans and the Houston Texans. And as Mina says, I don't see help coming anytime soon.
Think about what this team did at the trade deadline, go and get Devontae. Obviously, we're starting to see Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers' rapport build, and I think that has something to do with Devontae being there as well. But when you look at the explosive plays, all of them were in the hands outside of Corley dropping the ball in the end zone, and he's explosive as well. But all of the plays that they had to have, that they needed to make, they were in the hands of their star players. Obviously, Garrett Wilson and his 2 catches. The first one was, the degree of difficulty was unbelievable, like RC said. But you think about how this team was able to be explosive, and that's the thing we've been looking forward to. We asked, would they change formations? Would they create a lot of motion? Would they put Aaron Rodgers under center? It was still a lot of the same formations they've been running when they've been looking abysmal. They just got the ball into playmakers' hands and decided to win one-on-one matchups, and I think that's their way forward because I don't see them changing from a philosophical standpoint that much as the season progresses.
This was exactly what we asked for on this show. We asked, how do you take advantage of Garrett Wilson in his matchup? Mina talked about Aaron Rodgers being able to beat the blitz and man coverage. And Dan asked for Garrett Wilson to catch the football away from his body. All of those things happened, and it worked extremely well for the New York Jets. And Davante Adams is a huge part of getting Garrett Wilson in those matchups.
I mean, Garrett Wilson caught the ball like a whole body length away from his body as far as one of those catches were, at least. He took that to heart. Guys, if you're a Jets fan, this might make you feel really good. According to ESPN Analytics, it projects the Jets to win 7 of their final 8 games, with the only loss coming against the Bills. Don't look now. The Jets still very much alive.